I'm a proud Fighting Texas Aggie. I love my school, and one of my favorite things to do is to attend a football game. There's just nothing quite like being at Kyle Field and watching the football team fight it out for a win while being supported by a student section of over 30,000 yelling and cheering them on. And no Aggie football game would be complete without yet another spectacular performance by the marching band at halftime. Even though I'm not on the field, I still attend the games to support my school in whatever way I can. We're all there striving for a common goal, and that is to represent our team the best we possibly can. Yet, that's not enough for some college athletes. They also want to be compensated financially for their athletic contributions. In this speech, I'm going to address this issue and list 3 reasons why I think that college athletes should not be paid. College degrees are becoming more and more necessary in order to be successful and to prosper in today's job market. And the number one reason why you're at college is to earn a degree. And while there are extracurriculars there that are fun and that look good on resumes, you're a student first and everything else comes second. Some students are lucky enough to receive scholarships to compete and to participate in the school's athletic departments. And this is beneficial to them in many ways. Not only do they receive an education that will help them in their future careers, they're also graduating with little to no debt due to this financial aid, which I believe is enough compensation for their athletic contributions. In an article on the Bleacher Report websites, Gary Lloyd stated that it is utterly ridiculous to think student athletes should be paid for their athletic services. They're already going to the school of their choice for free and working out in state-of-the-art facilities for free. Going to school for free when the majority of students are going broke for their education, it's almost like student athletes are already being paid. Because of these scholarships, and just from being a member of these athletic departments, these student athletes are already receiving benefits that more than enough compensate them for what they're giving back to the school. And if you did make it legal to pay college athletes, how would you regulate and make sure that one athlete doesn't get paid more than another? Or that one athlete just gets left behind totally and doesn't get paid anything? You've got band and theater and other programs that students use to represent their school with. Do they get paid like the athletes for their contributions? What about athletes in lesser-known sports? Did they get paid the same as athletes in the school's top-grossing programs that bring in the most revenue for them? And what about male and female athletes? Do they get paid the same? In an article on the ESPN website, Chris Plonsky, who is the women's athletic director at the University of Texas, has this to say about college athletes that are treated as full-fledged employees of a university. There are workers' compensation, taxes, gender equality, and insurance issues. Who would set the pay rates? Should stars get more, or would there be a flat rate for everyone? Can a college athlete renegotiate? Get fired? Or for what? How do you ignore Title IX, the federal law that requires athletic departments to spend the proportionately same amount of money on women's athletics? The answer is you can't. You'd have to pay them all if you pay anyone, or get ready to go to court. Lawsuits and all other kind of trials would be brought up from athletes and other people that contribute to the university not being treated fairly. And that's why I don't think that a just system could possibly be put into place for this situation. Say you have a high school athlete that graduates and signs a contract with a college. He goes and participates in the athletic program and does very well. Gets a great education and has a lot of scholarships, so graduates with no debt, and the fact that they made a salary, they have even more money. They're in a very good position upon graduation to have a good start to their new life. But what would be the point of professional sports if this was possible? I believe that college athletes should represent their schools to the best of their abilities, and then, if they want to, They can go to professional sports and sign big contracts. Or they can use the degree that they earned and go get a job to support themselves, just depending on their choosing. Later in the article, Chris Plonsky said they could avoid all this if they like and be basketball player Brandon Jennings and be paid to play right away out of high school as he did in Europe. I respect that. If you're talented enough and you want to be able to compete under other conditions and arrangements, there are places you can go. If athletes don't like how college athletics are run, they do have a choice. It's just not the choice that gets shouted the loudest. Don't like it? Don't come. And what she's saying here is that there are many student athletes who just don't appreciate the value of what colleges offer them and the benefits that they have. And there are other options for those people. They can go play professionally overseas, or there are even semi-professional leagues in America that they can play in. But if they do compete at the college level, they'll get the exposure and they'll gain attention from the professional scouts. And that's how they'll increase their chances at signing those big deals to play professional sports here in America. So, in conclusion, I do not believe that college athletes should be compensated for their athletic contributions because getting a degree should be the highest priority, because it would be a monumental challenge to get a fair and just system in place to decide who is rewarded and what they receive, and also because I believe that it would lessen the interest of college athletes to go on to compete at the professional level.